Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Call Me When They Kiss. I'm Issa.
And I'm Sydney.
And today we are talking about You, Me, and Tuscany, the new rom-com, now in theaters. We both saw it I think you saw it opening day.
Yeah.
I did end up making it opening weekend.
Who did you go with? Sorry, I know you're going to do our spiel.
That's okay. I went with my sister and some of her friends and Anave.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was a girls' night. Normally Ryan has been watching all these movies with us, but we didn't invite him to this one.
There's something just special about looking around a movie theater and it's just filled with young girls,
Yeah. Who did you go with?
I think there was 8 of us. It was
nice.
We took up the whole row and it was a lot of fun just to go. And then we all said we were too tired and it was too late to go get a treat, but then we ended up standing in the parking lot for an hour afterwards. But that's
so you might as well have gotten a treat.
Yeah. That's just part of the movie theater experience.
Yeah, seriously. Well, anyway, if you are new around here, every Friday, Cindy and I talk about a different romance movie or sometimes a TV series. And we also have a bonus episode the last Monday of every month where we review a romance book. Cindy, tell the people what book we'll be talking about this month.
We are reading The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. It is also, I was going to say it's also a rom-com. And then I was like, well, not really. I mean, it's kind of funny at parts, I guess.
Yeah, it's like a rom-com
dram. Yeah. And there are some, there's some movies like that too that are more serious and still funny. So I think it fits the vibe though. We were saying how we really miss rom-coms and just these, I don't know, everything we've been doing is very history heavy. And so this is just a really nice, light, easy read. It's really quick. It does have some more serious tones to it, but I really enjoyed it. We love Abby Jimenez and it's still a feel good romance, I would say.
Yeah. It has a happy ending. I'm excited to record that episode. We don't have that much we want to talk about before we get into the movie. Shoot, something just crossed my mind. I think I did have something to say about Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. But now I can't remember what it was.
There's literally more. Okay, so Jesse keeps doing TikToks with a bunch of random dudes. And I'm like, what do you do?
I know.
It feels so silly. And then what else came? There was several. Oh, and then there was more. Taylor came out. She had her hearing against Dakota. And she came out with more allegations against him. Was it related to any of that?
No, it was I feel like I had something more. Oh, I know what it was.
What was it?
This is a lighthearted thing.
Oh, good.
Okay, we this wasn't even on our list of things to talk about, but this happens every time. We always end up, we're like, oh, this will probably be a short episode, and then we have a lot to say all of a sudden. My sister sent me a TikTok of Macy's quote-unquote personal assistant. She's this really cute young girl, probably 18, 19, 20, really young. And she keeps making TikToks and she's like, I'm a personal assistant for one of the wives of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Come with me to work today. And they're she's super cute, they're fun videos, but it's just funny. My sister was the one that pointed this out to me. She was like, this isn't a personal assistant. This is a maid. She's come with me to work.
She's
and
a
then
housekeeper.
Yes, she's filming herself cleaning Macy's house, cleaning out the cat's litter box, doing laundry, stuff like that. And I was like, no, that's actually so true. A personal assistant is that's
keeping the schedule.
Yes, scheduling meetings, making sure Macy knows oh, you have this important meeting with this person at this time. If you're trying to get a hold of Macy, you're going through her personal assistant. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was funny, and a few of their personal assistants, I put air quotes around that, have been making these TikToks and they're all just doing chores for these girls, which is fine. Good for them that they have these little young assistants that are I mean, I would love that job. That sounds way better than my job. But it was just cracking me up. I was like, yeah, that's a housekeeper.
I'm not gonna lie though, I've definitely like I haven't twisted my responsibilities, but I sometimes just like have made up my own titles to make it sound better for the role that I'm applying for. Like the job is the same, you know? Like even my current role, well, the one I originally started in, it was publication specialist. And I was like, but what does that even mean? Like nobody's going to see that and like know it. I'm publishing on social media, so I just put social media specialist, you know? So it sounds better for the next job. So I wonder if these girls like, I mean, if I were them, I would love to be like a celebrity personal assistant, you know? And so like, I wonder if they're like, if we just call it this and have that resume, I'm assisting her with her laundry. So, yeah, I wonder if they like think that could like get them out of like housekeeping and into like personal assistant jobs.
Honestly,
that's funny.
that would be a really awesome job because they see some of the drama firsthand. You know?
Yeah. So. I wouldn't even mind doing that. Like I've got a master's degree and I'm like, I'll be a personal assistant.
No, literally. So that was all I wanted to say.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I've seen some of those videos. They are cute young girls and I'm glad they're having fun.
No, but Jessie, I'm annoyed because like Jessie wasn't really my fave in the earlier seasons, but she really started to grow on me, and I really can't stand Jordan. And I even listened to her Call Her Daddy interview, and I enjoyed her on Call Her Daddy. But yeah, then she's been posting these cringy TikToks with these men, and I know they just like do all this stuff for clicks and attention. Yeah. But I'm like, oh, Jessie, please be single for a little bit.
Yeah.
It's giving male-centered.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because I think like people kind of forget Jessie's like origin story. And
what, that her and Jordan,
yeah, like that she had an affair and like was pregnant and told her husband it was his baby, but turns out it was Jordan's baby. You know, like that's messy on her part, you know? Like, right. I mean, obviously Jordan was involved, but
allegedly this is what happened.
Yeah. But it's when you remember that's how she started, like, I mean, it makes me sad because she said like that her and Jordan fought like every single day of their whole entire marriage. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's what happens when you get pregnant and you're having an affair and it's not really like a real relationship, and then now you're having this baby with someone and you're like, well, I guess I should be with him, you know, like you never had like a real honest relationship. And so yeah, it's not usually like the recipe for a great marriage. I hope the best for her, but I'm like, we gotta make some changes in habits and behaviors to get a different result, you know? So.
You guys, Cindy already knows this story, but like my last week living in Utah, I went to the gym with our friend Ashley, and we were standing in the gym parking lot, and we were literally talking about Secret Lives of Mormon Wives because this was like right after season 3 had come out. And like all of a sudden, this guy starts walking. He's just going to the gym. That sounded like really ominous.
He's walking towards me.
All of a sudden, this guy was walking towards us. No, like someone was like walking, about to walk past us towards the gym, and it's literally Jordan. And Ashley's back was turned, so she couldn't see him, but I like froze. But I was like and then I tried to keep the conversation going because like I'm not about to go fangirl over Jordan, you know? Like I didn't I wasn't going to be like, cuz I met Michaela before and I was like, "Oh my gosh, can I get a picture with you?" But I'm like not about to go fangirl over someone in dad talk. Yeah. But I was like, we were like trying to keep the conversation going, but it was so obvious that we like got quiet and we were like side-eyeing him as he like walked by us. But he did have a sinister energy to him. I could feel it.
Well, it's like I think you just sent it to me. The girl like took a picture with
Brett. Demi's husband.
Yeah. Like how she pretended to like him just for a picture, and he was like, "Oh, now you all come crawling back once the truth's out."
Yeah. And what truth was he even talking about? Like, was he talking about... I think he was talking about the truth about Taylor. But it's like, well, we still don't
hate
like
you.
you and Demi. Like, that has nothing to do with what you and Demi did.
But to hear what you wanted to say about 13 going on 30. Reboot.
I might have deleted. Okay. I took a screenshot of this comment I saw on TikTok. The TikTok was about someone was reacting to the 13 going on 30 reboot news. If you don't know, they're rebooting 13 going on 30 with Emily Bader and Logan Lerman. And the TikTok itself was interesting. She was talking about the AI of it all and just how so many things, nobody's like really making art anymore, and it's all just regurgitated stuff that we've seen before. And we already talked about that in another episode, and it's like, well, yes, but also people have always been making remakes and reboots, so
yeah.
But anyway, I took a screenshot of the top comment because this was a good point that we hadn't thought about. The plot made sense in 2004. There's nothing magic about being 30 in the 2020s. We can barely afford to buy a home. I wonder if this version of Jenna is going to be broke. And I thought that was like actually such a good point. Like, there's not really that much to romanticize about being 30, I feel like,
in this
right
time
now.
period. Yeah, that's so true. Well, and well, I saw something too, but now I'm like trying to think of like how they got this year, because they were saying that okay. I'm like trying to like do the math and get this out. Okay, so in 13 going on 30 though, she was romanticizing being 30 and went 17 years into the future. So she was romanticizing being 30 in 1980 whatever, late 80s. I'm not doing all the math right now. So then she flash forwards to the future, not like she doesn't become an adult in that same year, you know? She goes 13 years into the future to 2004 when she's 30 years old. And so they were saying how if this movie were to come out, say 2027, then she would be dreaming about this in 2000. How many years did I say? 17 years? So that would be 2010.
2010.
To be fair, I don't think your point changes all that much. 2010 wasn't really like a thriving, awesome place, but it was a lot better because like a lot of these changes have happened like since COVID. Like the cost of housing, everything, you know? So that kind of might change it a little bit, but I'm bringing this up also, not even to like go against the point you made at all, but they were talking about like the Thriller dance and how that was like the big moment of the movie, you know? And that was from when she was 13, you know? And so they're like, what song are they going to bring back from 2010 that's going to be that like big moment when she, not that they'd literally do it again, but hypothetically, is there like, I actually don't know songs like specifically from the 2010s, but what song would we want?
Top songs. When did like Gangnam Style come out? What if they're like...
No, I think somebody actually might have mentioned that. TikTok
by Kesha, Hey Soul Sister, Katy Perry's California Girls.
Oh, that could be a good one.
Bad Romance.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Dynamite. That was my jam in middle school.
Oh my gosh. OMG.
Just the Way You Are, Bruno. Wow. All these songs came out in 2010. Really? Justin Bieber?
Yes, like a G6. These are like some classic the nostalgia.
Okay, so I feel like Baby might be a good guess because if you're 13 years old in 2010, isn't that like prime Justin Bieber fangirl age?
And Justin Bieber is like still, well, I guess a lot of these people we said, like Lady Gaga is still really relevant. Some of these are Bruno Mars. They're relevant too, you know? But like like a G6, have we heard of far out movement since then? You know? And like Michael Jackson was big and always has been big, you know? And so I feel like it has to be somebody of like that star power too that would bring that like nostalgia but still relevancy to the youth today too.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, Justin
Okay,
Bieber,
you heard it here. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, that I was just gonna say that would be a good choice.
Yeah, you heard it here first, you guys. The Call Me When They Kiss podcast is predicting that Baby by Justin Bieber will be featured in the 13 Going on 30 reboot. All right, what was next on our list?
Okay, well...
Oh, go ahead.
The Doom ROMs.
Yes.
So, we are excited for this chick flick, but we stumbled across...
You mean Tuscany?
Well, and 13 Going on 30. All of them.
Okay.
We're always excited about chick flicks. But we saw this post that said, "Are Droom ROMs the new chick flicks?" And I'm just gonna like...
Doom ROMs. She said... You said Droom ROMs.
Droom ROMs. Doom ROMs. I don't really like that at all. It doesn't roll off.
No, it does not roll off the tongue like a rom-com.
No. Yeah, I don't like that. But that's... I didn't come up with it, guys. Okay. So I'm just gonna read it. And then I just wanted to talk about it and have some people ponder it. So this is what it says. What is a Doom ROM? Unlike a romance movie, which shows how two characters fall in love and defy enough obstacles to stay in love, Doom ROMs focus on the opposite. They show the not-so-great sides to relationships, the toxicity, the secrets, and the reality that actually love doesn't always work out. People aren't looking for cookie-cutter love stories anymore because they're just not realistic. Daters are lonelier and more single than ever, so a Doom ROM is actually a better example of the reality of dating, which I think is weirdly comforting to watch on a screen. If I'm being honest, sometimes the unpredictability of Doom ROMs is more fun to watch. I love The Notebook and How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, but there's something entertaining about watching people fall out of love instead. With dating app fatigue and people wanting less commitment, I think these Doom ROMs are actually a more accurate version of how people are dating today. I'm happily engaged and with my person, but I love analyzing other people's relationships. Doom ROMs let me sit in the mess with the characters versus just expect them to eventually work it out. And I kind of love thinking about how the plot will play out in my head. So that's written by Taylor Andrews. Don't know who they are, but a writer for Pop Sugar, apparently.
Pop Sugar.
But what do you think about that? Like, do you think, yes, that is the trend? Do you think the points that... I actually don't even know if it's a girl or a boy, but do you think the points they made are like valid, that it's more reflective, or I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I'd also like to point out, like, this, I think this article was prompted by the drama, but like I didn't really agree with her. The part that bugged me the most was when she said, or yeah, I guess it could be a man. Taylor's like a gender neutral.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just assuming it's a woman.
Yeah.
What was I saying?
The
part where Taylor Andrews said that rom-coms just aren't realistic, and it's like, yes, because famously that is why people go to the movies, to watch something realistic. Like, nobody's like saying like, oh, these Marvel movies aren't realistic, or you know what I mean? It's like, that's not... And of course, like most love stories that I truly enjoy and feel passionate about, they have some, you know, to a certain extent, they need to be believable. But I can think of a lot of reasons why maybe in today's day and age, people would be drawn to more darker, quote unquote, love stories. But I just don't think the realism is one of them.
Yeah.
Because like I think the other side of that argument is like, there has been such a boom in like reading romance and like people demanding more romance movies because they want escapism.
Yeah.
So
like
I think
the
there's
romance
just like
genre books is not booming because they're like dark and unhappy and realistic, you know? Yeah.
So, like, I get what they're saying, but I think there's, like, two sides to the coin.
I guess my thing is, like, every movie that they showed, besides the drama, wasn't even, like, a huge success.
Yeah, like, I only recognized the drama and the Logan Lerman one, which I couldn't even remember the title of.
I recognized one of the pictures of one, but I can't tell you what the actors were named, and I don't know what movie it is, but I think I've seen ads for it somewhere, you know? But I'd almost go to say nobody wants these movies. Otherwise, we'd be watching them, you know? Like, she's like, oh, these are more realistic, and, like, this is the new rom-com, and, like, they're the new chick flick because this is what the people want. I think they're the new chick flick because people have always been ashamed to make chick flicks.
Yeah.
And that they think that creating these dark and twisted, unhappy whatever is, like, real art. You know what I mean?
Like, Robert Pattinson would not be in a rom-com.
No.
But
I would love if he
was in the drama, though. Yeah. And the drama, I mean, I did like the drama, though, is the thing. Like, I'm not like, oh, I hate these movies, never make them. But I don't think that they're replacing rom-coms. Or I don't want them to, at least.
Yeah, I agree.
Sorry, I feel like I cut you off like 10 times. Keep going.
Oh, no. At least I didn't feel cut off. I don't. There's not a thought in my mind. No, I agree though, and I think like, I mean, maybe unless you have more to say about that, it kind of transitions into You, Me, and Tuscany because, this movie was not realistic in any way.
No.
And like that's fine. Like I had fun, you know?
Yeah.
I went and saw it with a big group of people and kind of how this is related to this. What you were talking about, realistic, and nobody watches Marvel movies and is like, this isn't realistic, whatever. It kind of reminded me of this, is that when we were leaving, my sister was like, well, I think I liked People We Meet on Vacation more, which I was like, yeah, I mean, I can see that.
Yeah.
And she's like, but yeah, it did feel kind of like Netflix quality. And I'm like, well, let's pause and talk about this. Because I'm like, People We Meet on Vacation was a Netflix movie. So, like, now it's kind of like, well, what does that mean? It feels like Netflix is, I mean, it didn't reach my expectations, People We Meet on Vacation, but it was a step up in quality from a lot of the movies they've made, you know?
Right.
So it's like, one, is Netflix, like, evolving into making higher quality movies, the first, but two, have we been conditioned to believe that any chick flick is streaming quality?
Right, yeah.
Because
no, that's a good point.
The only place we see them is streaming, because nobody goes and watches a cheesy action movie and says, oh, this was like streaming quality.
Yeah.
Because the cheesy action movies have always been to theaters and they'll always be in theaters. You know?
No, that's such a good point. And that's even like the first thing I texted you when I left the theater was like, well, why was that in the theaters, but People We Meet on Vacation wasn't?
I mean, I still think People We Meet on Vacation should have, but...
No, that's, like, because I was like, well, I feel like that could have gone straight to streaming. But no, I'm changing my mind. I'm saying, no, People We Meet on Vacation should have been in theaters, and You, Me, and Tuscany also should be in theaters.
Yeah. Because I liked the experience. Like, it was a fun experience to go with this group of girls and to see it in the theater. And just, like, the whole audience. Like, there were parts we were all laughing at, that we all thought were cheesy, that we all thought were funny. You know, like, there's something special about going to the movie theater. And a movie doesn't need to be realistic. And calories don't
count at the movie theater.
Yeah, exactly. No,
I loaded up on treats and popcorn.
Same. Got an extra large. We filled up all the boats and then immediately refilled it. And I got an ice cream sandwich and sour gummy worms and the extra large bucket of popcorn.
That's awesome.
It was great. I love going to the movies. So, yeah, like, I'm like, let's get more in rather than, like, gauge what quality is undeserving of being in the theaters. I want to go regardless, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I know you have to, like, pay to go to the movies, but, like, I'm spending so much money on all these dang streaming services that it's like, Put them in the theater so I can just pay the $10
No, seriously.
once and go see it.
I actually meant to do some research because I knew I wanted to talk about this, and there's a lot of times we talk about things on the podcast and we're like, I wonder why they do this. Oh well, we move on. But I genuinely am curious why Netflix didn't. Netflix has the capability to put their movies in theater. I think even Stranger Things was the finale was in some theaters.
Oh, really?
Knives Out was a Netflix movie, and The Gray Man was a Netflix movie, and I saw both of those in theaters. So I know that they have the ability to, which is why I think Emily Henry was talking about Beach Read having a theatrical release, even though it's still being made by Netflix. But I'm just curious why they choose not to, because from my perspective, I'm isn't that just more free money?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
So, I don't know, but I want to hear your thoughts on You Mean Tuscany, other than it should have been in streaming. No.
No, I liked seeing it in the theaters, but I really was and this is I think of all the things we keep rehashing on the podcast, it's probably people we meet on vacation.
Yeah.
But why wasn't it in theaters? It should have been in theaters.
Well, it only forces us to make those comparisons because this is literally the only true rom-com we've gotten since I don't even know when. Because I know that Eternity is technically a rom-com, but again, it's more artsy and complex, and it's still kind of in a different category.
Yeah, and it wasn't even at they didn't even put it in the main theaters, at least not in Boise. I went to this rinky-dink theater to go see it.
And you had to see it kind of quick. It didn't stay as long. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, other than Eternity, I cannot tell you, I literally cannot think of what the last rom-com in theaters was.
Okay, let's think.
Materialist absolutely does not count either.
That was not... Well, they kind of marketed it. They kind of marketed it as a rom-com.
I disagree. I know. Yeah, anyone that tries to call it that, I'm like, no, you're wrong. They did try to market it, but...
What was it? I don't know.
Because I feel I would... Oh, Anyone But You. It might have been.
Oh, you know why I didn't think about that one? Because I didn't see that one until after it came out in the theaters.
I did see that one in theaters.
Yeah. You know what I mean.
But that was years ago.
Yeah.
So now it forces us to have this comparison because, yeah, why'd they choose this one? If we only get one every 3 years, why this one versus anything else?
Right. All right. What did I think about You, Me, and Tuscany? I liked it. I had fun watching it. I thought it was cute. I thought it was funny. I was laughing. It really made me want to go to Italy. These are just my overall generic thoughts. I thought that Halle Bailey and Rege-Jean Page had good chemistry, but I also thought she had good chemistry with the other guy too, Mateo.
Yeah.
Which
when it first started and they were talking, I was like, wait, they're hitting it off really well.
Yeah. Well, the part that I was like, wait, why do I kind of want them to kiss was when... Should we give a synopsis?
Oh. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, do you want to do it?
Okay, let me think. So, Anna is a homesteader, but she gets fired from her last job because, or a lot of them, because she tries on their clothes, and she kind of avoids reality by pretending that she's living these other lives for the people that she housekeeps for. Because her mom, she dropped out of cooking school, culinary school, her mom passed away, and so she's just kind of been avoiding actually moving on with her life and having her own life, and instead is living vicariously through the lives of these people she house sits for. So she's fired, and she goes to the hotel where her friend works, just chat with her, and she's hoping to get a place to stay in this hotel because she now is homeless when she's not house sitting. And she hits it off with this guy at the bar. He is a real estate person from agent.
Whatever
It
that
sounded
means.
weird to say he's a real estate agent. I actually don't even know what kind of real estate he does.
Well,
but
all he said was, "I'm in real estate." So.
Yeah, so that's him. But he's from Italy. And so she said that, she had this dream with her mom, who is also a chef, to go to Italy, and that they wanted to cook there. And that was just like always a dream. But ever since her mom died, she can't go near an oven and has just been struggling.
Sorry.
Are you laughing because I said she can't go near an oven?
Like, I did think that part was kind of funny. She's like, I can't. It was a stove, actually.
Oh, yeah, stove.
Well, the girl next to me, I can't go near a stove.
Yeah, I laughed because the girl next to me was like, she's been surviving off posters. Oh my gosh, I can't even speak now. Are they called poster strudels? All of a sudden,
they're called toaster strudels. Are you trying to mix up like Pop-Tarts and toaster strudels?
So. And I was never allowed to eat those growing up, so so I'm like, what are these actually called? I don't think I've ever said it out loud.
That tracks.
Oh yeah, my father, the inventor of toaster strudel. Yeah, well that's why I stopped, because I said poster. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, toaster strudel. Yeah, the girl next to me was like, what has she been eating if she doesn't go near a stove? Okay, anyway.
Also, like, usually to microwave your food, you have to like go near the stove, right? Like,
Yeah.
a microwave is typically above a stove.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, guys, it didn't have the best dialogue, okay, but it was funny. Yeah. So like, basically, she meets this guy, and he's saying how he has this beautiful villa there, and it's just empty because his parents wanted him to like take over the restaurant, and he didn't want to. So yeah. So she's like, you know what? I still have my plane ticket booked. I'm gonna go. But it's like a big festival weekend. There's no place to stay. So she ends up staying in...
Pause.
Yes.
When they said festival in Italy, I was like,
Twilight?
Like New Moon?
No, same. I actually was like, wait, is it the same one?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it was.
I don't think it was.
But, yeah, I was thinking that the whole time, too. She can't find a place to stay, so she breaks into this guy's villa because he said that it was empty. She conveniently... Now I'm like, how detailed should I be? She finds a wedding ring.
Keep going.
She finds a wedding ring in his drawer because she's being nosy in his house, apparently. Puts it on. These people walk in the house, and she's like, oh no, it's supposed to be empty. And she's trying to break out, whatever, but they catch her. They see her with the wedding ring on. She's trying to, like, not get arrested. And so she says that she's engaged to Matteo, is the Italian guy's name. And so then they are like so excited because Matteo's like the prodigal son. He left and they haven't seen him all year. And they're so happy that she's like bringing their son back to them. And so they start like planning this wedding like immediately. And turns out Matteo has a cousin who's like his adopted brother, who is Rege-Jean Page. His name's Michael. And they've got this banter going, and they're really hitting it off. But she's like, shoot, I'm supposed to be engaged to this guy. Now I'm starting to feel things for this guy. And then they run into an ex-girlfriend of Matteo, and she's jealous and calls Matteo. And so then Matteo shows up and is like, what are you doing in my house? It gets a whole lot more complicated. And basically, there's a series of events that gets her to overcome her fear of stepping close to a stove. She learns to cook again. I guess, they never actually said I love you. She is growing these feelings for Michael. Matteo's kind of a butthead. I mean, he's like making out. Anyways, it's like too much to explain all the little details, but basically it all works out.
She comes clean.
She tells the truth, and they were like, you're our family. We accept you.
Yeah, they liked her too much that they didn't even care that she had been lying to them.
They're like, we also like you more than our son.
Yeah, literally. Also, Matteo like joined in on the lie. So yeah, I think that kind of helped her out because he was like, oh, my family's so happy that we're engaged and that I've come home. They're not mad at me anymore for leaving. So let's just keep going along with this for now.
Me and Issa, we've called other rom-coms this in the past, but when we describe like 10 things, no, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, we describe all the actions throughout the movie as just like shenanigans. This definitely felt like a shenanigan movie, which isn't a
Yeah.
bad thing. It's just
No.
like a subgenre of rom-coms.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's not realistic in any way.
Shenanigans
But
did ensue.
yes. But it
But
was a good
that's
time.
just part of the rom-com formula. Like, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, like, that is a ridiculous. That's all one big ridiculous shenanigan that they were pulling on each other.
Yeah, one of the girls I was with, and I love her, so this isn't like a diss. I don't know if she even listens to the podcast. It's not a diss on her opinion, but well, she did say that While You Were Sleeping is one of her favorite movies of all time, and that this she's like, "Oh, this just felt like," because she loved that one so much, and it's also like falls in love with the guy's brother pretending to be engaged with him, like it's a sort of similar premise, I guess. And so she was like, "Oh, this just feels like a bad ripoff of this," And she was like, "Oh, the whole thing took place over 5 days. Like, that's so unrealistic." But it's kind of what we've talked about. Like, I never go into a rom-com expecting a realistic
Realism.
love story. Like, I can name a lot of rom-coms off the top of my head that all take place within a, like, 7 to 14-day time span,
Right.
you know? And
you
I
know
think
what? I
sorry,
don't even think it's
continue.
that unrealistic to fall in love in a few days.
I
Like,
mean
people always act like, "Oh my gosh, like, you got engaged to someone on The Bachelor and you've only known them for a few weeks." Like, I'm I'm not saying that's a good idea.
maybe don't get married in 3
Right.
days? Yeah.
Right. But, like, the way everybody acts like it's so unrealistic to, like, catch feelings in a short amount of time, like, and I mean, a large part of it is probably lust, but it's like,
Yeah.
well, that's kinda how romantic relationships work. Like, you either have a spark or you don't, and it doesn't actually take that long to figure it out.
No, I agree. And I also think that it's not even like, yes, sometimes it is lust, but sometimes it's genuinely like, I'm having so much fun with this person. And if
Yeah.
you watch this movie and you see what they're doing together, I could see that. Like, this guy's nice, he's successful, he has his business, he's kind to me. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
probably I would spend those 5 days also, and by the end be like, I want to move to Italy and see where this
Yeah.
goes with him. you know?
Yeah.
Like, we watched Before Sunrise, and that takes place in 24 hours, or not even
Yeah,
24
literally.
hours.
And I wanted them to be together forever.
Yeah. So maybe this is just coming from me because I've always like caught feelings really fast and I'm very committed to that. But yeah, like that didn't really bother me. Um I had several moments that like I was laughing out loud.
Mhm.
I thought it was really funny. It was a little bit cheesy at times, but I feel like cheesy and cringy are different
Yeah.
and it didn't cross into
I agree.
cringy.
Yeah. That's
The
a good way
singing
of putting
parts
it.
went on a little bit too long when Michael started to sing because he didn't really sound that great either. Um, the first part he even kind of sounded like off key, so I was like, you don't need to keep singing. And
Yeah,
he
that
kind of
part fell out of place to me, to be honest.
yeah. Which then at the end, when she sang and was like, "You have to forgive everything in the past," like it was, this like
Oh, yeah.
Italian ceremony or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah, the full circle moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that I forgot about
But in the
that.
moment, you're like, "Wow, okay."
No, that's true. Okay, back to what I was saying though about Mateo and her having chemistry.
Oh, yeah.
When Mateo gets to Italy and he like finds Anna in his bed wearing his pajamas and they're kind of like bickering, I
Yeah.
was like, wait, I kind of want them to kiss right now.
Well, and they hit it off so well before. Like, they were gonna, like, sleep together.
Yeah. And then
So I don't
obviously Mateo ended up being kind of a jerk, but
they had to do that.
yeah. Yeah, right.
I thought he was cute too.
I thought he was cute. Obviously, Simon is cuter.
Yeah.
Michael Rege-Jean Page.
I'm sorry. I know some people really, 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 really love him, and I think he's really cute. But I I've only watched Bridgerton season 1 once, and I never really loved his delivery. Like, I don't think he's a bad actor per se, but he acts with his eyebrows. And one eyebrow is almost like always lifted up because that's how he's like being sincere, you know? He did it a lot in Bridgerton. It wasn't as like obvious in this, but it it kept popping up like in my brain and I was like, give him a chance, give him a chance. But like in Bridgerton, every time he needed to be like smoldering or intense or whatever, he'd always just like lift one eyebrow up.
That's
And
funny.
I kind of had to like push it to the back of my mind watching this, but I think he did well. And Halle Bailey, like honestly, I don't think she's like the most incredible actress, but I think that she's cute and that she has like this kind of innocent aura that kind of made this work.
Yeah.
The whole lighthearted storyline and the shenanigans and all of that, you know? So I didn't think it was like great, but it was good. I liked it.
Yeah. I liked her too. I thought she was cute. She had some really cute outfits, and then she had some other outfits that I was like scratching my head at. At one point, her and Mateo, they're planning on going to tell his
I know
family that
exactly
they're
which one
not.
you're talking about.
Yeah. They're planning on like going to tell the truth, and she chooses to put on like basically a bra and a skirt.
Yeah, like ties.
Yes, she did have like a shawl over it, but like still, she was basically in a bra, and I was like, this is the outfit you've decided to go. And the shawl thing that they added to cover her up, like it wasn't even that cute.
Yeah.
Like it was not really doing her any favors. And I was like, this is the outfit you've decided to put on to go like tell these people the truth. And then her like Mateo's dad ends up in the hospital, and don't worry, like he ended up being fine, but like she still had the same outfit on when she went to the hospital, and like I don't know, like if my dad was in the hospital, I'd be like, well, let me put a shirt on.
Yeah. Let me put some jeans on.
Yeah.
Like even the skirt, the dress, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
most of her
true.
outfits were really cute, and like, yeah, she's really cute.
Yeah, I think sometimes I view things like a little bit too literally because like I married a man from a foreign country and like went to that foreign country to meet his family and to do everything like that. And so I was thinking really realistic of like, oh well, like what are the cultural differences and like I'd probably dress a certain way or whatever just in regards of like this is a different culture and different
Yeah.
you know like different traditions whatever and so that's like what was always on my mind, but I think that's part of what made me enjoy the movie though was because it reminded me a lot of my husband's family. And my
Oh,
husband's
really?
Mexican, not Italian, but just like how they were like all so welcoming and like
Mhm.
immediately like grabbing her and hugging her and kissing her and like making her a part of the family and like serving her this food and all that like felt kind of nostalgic to me like when I first met his family and how it's like big like that, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's I mean, obviously there are big families here in the US, but it's like when I went there to visit, they literally gathered like his cousins, his aunts, his
Yeah.
uncles, like everyone. And we like went
Uh-huh.
out to breakfast and filled like this whole banquet room. And so yeah,
That's
it felt
cool.
just like a little extra special like in that way of like, oh, like this reminds me of his family and like when I met them.
That's cute. Yeah, Mateo's family
So
was really cute. They were like one of the best parts of the movie.
yeah. I saw somebody else make the point that like it's easy for everything to feel like really romantic when it takes place in a place like Italy.
Yeah.
And like they do have that like on their side. It's beautiful. Um some of the scenes though, like it really was making me laugh because like they lean into that kind of I feel like they lean into the cringiness in a good way. Like with the
Mhm.
water, the sprinklers, and it's like
Mhm.
slow motion and he's taking his shirt off. And then like it turns and there's like a tour bus that's like, can I? can I go on that tour or whatever,
Yeah.
you know? Like, sure, I can understand how people would watch that and roll their eyes and be like, this is cheesy. But, like, I love stuff like that in a rom-com.
Yeah. No, it was cute.
So,
I want to say one more part where the dialogue was kind of weird, but then we should talk about like our favorite funny part, or I was gonna say our favorite funny parts, but just our favorite parts in general. Okay, so her and Michael are like spending the day together. He's like giving her a tour of his vineyards and the restaurant and everything, and they sit down at that table like in his winery to drink wine. Do you know what part I'm talking about?
oh, yeah.
And then she was like, wow, this place is so cool. And he started telling her about the history of the winery. And then
Yeah.
she had she like cut him off and was like, okay, like you don't have to give me a TED talk on it or something like that.
Yeah.
And I
You
was
could
like,
just let it be cool.
yeah. And I was like, what? No. They were like cool, interesting facts about like the place he works and lives. And I was like, why did they like make her like if I was on a first date, and obviously this wasn't even really a date because she's like supposedly
Pretending
engaged to his cousin, yeah. But like if I was on a first date and I started like trying to tell somebody something about my job and they were like, oh my gosh, like you don't have to give me a TED talk, I'd be like, wow, okay.
I'm not kidding. I think that would make me
going on a
cry.
second date. Yeah.
I would be holding back tears.
Yeah,
if
I'd be
somebody
like,
said that to me.
especially if roles were reversed, like a man said that to a woman who was trying to talk, I'd be like stunned into silence. I'd be like, oh my gosh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know if it was supposed to be funny of like kind of a jab at men of like, we don't need to be mansplained or your TED. Like, I don't know if, if it was supposed to be just a funny, lighthearted, overall, men type joke. But I was like, wait, I actually wanted to hear what he
No,
what he had
yeah.
to say.
If that's what it was supposed to be, it did not work.
Yeah. No, you're right. There were a couple moments that the story or the dialogue felt a little bit like clunky or forced, you know, but like as do most rom-coms though. I mean, like most shenanigan like rom-coms, you have to suspend your belief a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
So
I was kind of surprised to see it was written by a white man. A white man. I was expecting a black woman.
That's exactly what I thought.
Yeah, so I like feel like I need to spend more time online. Well, like with the drama, and then what was the other? Well, I guess mostly the drama. There's been like a lot of online discourse about the drama, and like I went to Yumi and Tuscany last night, and sometimes I'm like, I just want to watch a movie and like have my own thoughts on it and not worry about what people are saying online.
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe at some point I'll get online and see what people are saying about Yumi and Tuscany, because I'm curious like how the black community feels about it. Do they feel like, oh, this white man like wrote a good black love story?
Yeah, and I even just looked, I was like, well, maybe the director was a black woman and
no, she's a white woman.
Yeah, I just looked that up and was like, oh. So yeah, that is interesting. Because there were a couple things that I felt like there were jokes and things that I thought were like really cute and funny that felt very like, oh, this had to have been written by a black woman. So now I feel like my reality was just flipped upside down. I'm like, what do you mean it was a white man? That is very interesting. And I think because it's so new, there's not even a lot to like read about it yet. Like even on the Wikipedia, like everything is like very brief. But I want
That's true. We're recording this episode like 2 days after it came out.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Because I was like totally convinced that there had to have been like more involvement. Okay, well, I'm like looking at even his wife, the screenwriter's wife, was like a co-producer with him. And so I thought, well, is she a black woman? Nope. She's also white. I'm like, where are the black people? Somebody has to be right. Yeah, that's really interesting. Huh. Okay, well, interesting. That's all I have to say. That's really interesting.
We're stumped.
Yeah.
Okay, Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna basically answer. I really liked her friend. I thought she was really funny.
Yeah.
I really liked the cab driver.
Oh, I forgot about him. Yeah, he was really cute.
He was funny and sweet. He just looked like a nice guy. Like, part of me at the end was like, I want a cab driver like him.
It was kind of funny though. Okay, no. See, I feel like we're so good at ruining stuff.
What?
Like, I would be way too scared to travel to Europe by myself. Like, I've seen the movie Taken, and
yeah,
I'd be like befriending an Uber driver. That just is like, that might have been the most unrealistic part of the movie.
No, that's so true. Even my mom, like, she's gonna do a race in France, and she was like, you should come with me. And I'm like, not even traveling alone. Still, the thought of going with her to France, I'm like, but Mom, haven't you seen Taken?
Yeah.
No, that's so true. Like, all of it. Like, she's a single, alone woman. She doesn't know this family, even. If we wanted to take it that level, like, she could have.
She's staying with a family?
Dangerous. Well, no, just his family.
I thought you meant your mom. I was like, who's she staying with?
No. No, in the movie. Yeah. Again, we have to just, like, blind ourselves to the reality of being a woman and, like, traveling.
And you know what? That's why we like rom-coms, because in a rom-com, you can go to Italy and be besties with your Uber driver, and he'll be there for you when you need him, a shoulder to cry on.
I don't need to watch Taken and be shown the realities of, like, I'm still going back to that Doom Rom post. Who wants to watch something realistic? In 2026, I do not need more reality.
No.
Yeah. It's hard to, like, pinpoint, like, a really, really big favorite part, because, like, overall, like, I think I had a smile on my face the whole time, you know? I enjoyed it.
I liked how there were 2 Bridgerton references. Did you catch that?
I caught the one, like, during the credits where they yelled at him from the bus, like, I burned for you. But were there 2 more?
The other one, well, no, one of them was, in the credit scene. They said something about this feeling like a Bridgerton scene. And then her friend, she called her friend and was, like, explaining what was going on to her friend. And her friend was like, this is some Shonda Rhimes type shit.
Yes. Yeah, I did remember that.
So I guess it wasn't, like, explicitly a Bridgerton reference, but that made me laugh.
Well, and it did make me laugh, too, because Shonda Rhimes is also in charge of, or like, created Grey's Anatomy and, like, I think Scandal. And so, like, even Bridgerton aside, like, any, like, romance, drama, twist and turn type TV show you think of is probably Shonda Rhimes, you know? So, yeah, I like that, too. And Shonda Rhimes is a Black woman. So, when I heard that joke, I thought, oh, I actually meant to look it up. I thought, oh, did she have something to do with this movie? Favorite parts? Oh, I'm still kind of...
Oh, I have one.
Yeah,
when he punched Mateo.
Oh, as soon as he punched him, I said, oh, Issa's going to love this. Because we just talked about that.
Listen, any form of male aggression, typically, not attractive. But in a romance movie or book, if a man punches another man in honor of or in defense of his woman, that's one of my favorite micro tropes.
Even before the punch came, I was like, ooh, I like this, because Michael saw Mateo kissing his ex-girlfriend, and Michael at this point didn't know anything was fake yet. And so he, like, got all up in Mateo's face and was like, you got to tell her, like, you're screwing up, you know, and even that part, I was like, yeah. I'd say, like, story-wise, this isn't necessarily, like, a favorite part or anything like that, but, like, the things that made me feel like, okay, this might have what it takes to, like, be remembered and people watch it and enjoy it down the line, is that, one, there was something very nostalgic about the opening. with the music and like how the scenes were being cut. I was like, oh, this feels like a 2000s rom-com. But also, there was no sex, and it ends with the big kiss at the end.
That's
and
true.
that is how every rom-com used to be. They weren't even kissing throughout the movie. It was just like, well, sometimes I guess they'd have the big kiss and then some kisses at the very end, you know. but like even 10 Things I, oh my gosh. Literally every time I try to say this title, I say 10 Things I Hate About You when I'm trying to say How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. But actually this applies to 10 Things I Hate About You too. They don't kiss until the end in the parking lot.
That's a good kiss in 10 Things I Hate About You.
And that is a good kiss, yeah. And I feel like, I guess there could have been a little bit... It's always hard when it's like fake relationship type stuff because it's like, how close do you want to show them getting without it being weird? Because he thinks, regardless of if she's in a real relationship or not, he thinks she is. So if he makes a move, then we're kind of side-eyeing him. You know,
right?
And so it's kind of tricky.
Well, and that was weird. Like I think it was Mateo's dad was basically like telling Michael that he should go after Anna, and at the time he thought Anna was engaged to Mateo.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, you guys have better chemistry. Go for it, son.
Yeah.
No, that's so true. Yeah. So it could have been nice to like see a little bit more of that tension like built up leading up to that kiss, so it wasn't just like she showed up and they kissed, you know, to have a little bit more of that like, ooh, are they, aren't they, you know? But I like that. Like it felt I think it felt so nostalgic just kind of like for that reason of like, okay, this is following the plot and creation of your classic rom-coms. Whereas, like, when people bring up Anyone But You, or even People We Meet on Vacation, it's a different formula than what we call the classics from, like...
That's true.
The 80s to 2000s, 10s, you know? So,
I think the only thing... Because I agree, like, it followed the classic rom-com formula. I think what would have made it more rewatchable, though, is if the dialogue wasn't as clunky as we've been saying. And I do think that makes a big difference. Like I like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. That's like the rom-com we have on a pedestal that we always compare all other rom-coms to. But I do think it is a good example because it is such a ridiculous concept. But like I can think of quotes from that movie that are really like iconic and memorable, and even though it's a crazy plot, the dialogue feels grounded and normal for the most part. And I think that helps, like you were saying, like You, Me, and Tuscany was kind of cheesy, and I think you need to have like less cheesy dialogue to balance out a crazier plot.
I feel like this would fall under a movie that, yes, I would rewatch, not like a comfort watch. Like, I'd have to be in a specific mood, you know, or watching it with somebody that hasn't watched it yet, or showing it to someone, you know, and not like, oh, I just want to feel like a nice, cozy comfort movie. I might, turn to something like that.
I might like put it on if I was like doing something else at the same time.
Yeah. So what would you rate it?
I'd give it a 3. Well, okay, I'll give it a 3.5.
What made you change your mind?
I did like it. Like, I was laughing.
Yeah, and I would recommend it. Like, I would give it our stamp. I'd say 3.5. It's really hard not to compare it to People We Meet on Vacation, which I gave a 3.75. But to be fair, I might have been too... It's really hard to judge that movie independently from the book. And so every time I think about the movie, I still feel let down.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even really compare it to this one because, like, was I having as much... Like, it might technically be a better movie, but I might have had more fun in You, Me, and Tuscany because I was being let down during People We Meet on Vacation. So it didn't feel quite as fun to watch. I know most people probably would disagree, though. Like, if you hadn't read the book and you watched both, they might go with People We Meet on Vacation.
If I think about people who meet on vacation too long, like my blood genuinely starts to boil.
Yeah. Like it's
That's
hard.
why it's the dead horse we keep beating on this podcast.
Yeah.
I won't say anything.
Please be treated. I also saw, side note, that they're supposed to start filming in June or July. And I'm like, when are we going to get our guest announcement?
Yeah. I hope
hopefully soon.
I'm scared.
But yeah.
Gus is a big deal to me.
I know. If I'm let down by this one too, it's going to be hard to keep. I mean, of course I'm going to keep watching every single one.
Gus is like the ultimate book boyfriend, I think.
He's just so perfect. And the reason why I'm nervous is because this director, is she also the screenwriter? She might be both. Director and screenwriter. And there were things that she wrote in People We Meet on Vacation that I'm like, why are you changing the dialogue?
Yeah.
Like, Emily Henry already nailed it. Anyways, this could be a whole... Once a month, we need to make a rehashed People We Meet on Vacation episode because that could be a full hour every month.
We should just do a bonus episode where we just complain about whatever we want to complain about.
Oh, honestly, that's a good idea. Let us be haters.
Sometimes I low-key wish we were doing this podcast anonymously because I low-key have stuff I want to talk to you about, but like Sydney and I, like, we no longer talk about anything besides the podcast. And like I have like a lot of stuff I actually need to tell you, but like what am I going to tell you?
About your life?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, let's talk.
I'll see you
this weekend.
I know, I have to wait. I can't say it on the podcast.
Are you saying if it was anonymous, you would want to say it on the podcast?
Yeah, maybe. Like, I think that would be an interesting podcast, like listening to normal people's gossip.
Oh, that's so true.
It's like gossip you are not involved in personally.
We could have some gossip. But yeah, no, that's true. Okay, what would you do the rest of the ratings?
Then we could really talk some shit.
I know.
Ratings. Okay. So movie 3.5. Chemistry, I'll give a 3.5. Kiss. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna deduct half a point. I'm gonna give the kiss a 3 because like the sprinklers kind of bugged me.
Yeah.
And I know they were going for, like, again, quintessential rom-com, but it felt a little bit forced. I didn't like how the sprinklers started and he started to try to lead her out of them. And she was like, no, I have something to say and I'm going to say it right here.
Yeah. Yeah. Instead of just like, if the sprinklers come on, just finish or whatever.
Yeah. Longevity of the couple. Do I think they would stay together forever? See that, and then I start being too real, like thinking too much about it. It's like, is she gonna move to Italy? I guess she could move to Italy because she doesn't really have like family back in America,
and had no job. Like she wasn't leaving anything behind. Yeah. Well, besides a friend.
Yeah. I say yes. They'll be together forever.
I don't know what you could what could get between you when you're living on a beautiful vineyard in Italy.
Yeah.
You're both hot and happy. Like, what? Why wouldn't you end up together?
What problems could you possibly have? Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's true. I agree with all the ratings. I keep giving Kisses 3 because they're, like, just unremarkable. And I guess that's fair. But the more I watch, the more I'm like, I'm getting more and more negative because I'm like, when are we going to get, like, a great kiss again?
Even you bringing up 10 Things I Hate About You, that kiss in the parking lot, maybe it's just because Heath Ledger is like so freaking hot, but like they're kissing and then she pushes him back and she's like, but you can't just buy me a guitar every time you screw up. And then
I was just thinking that.
It's so cute.
I could literally I could close my eyes and see the whole entire scene right now. And I don't have like a very good visual memory like that. Like I don't, but like I'm just reliving it right now.
We should do that one soon. Maybe we should do that one for my birthday.
That's a good one.
And you know what? I was at the gym the other day and that song they play it at the beginning when Kat is in her car.
I don't give it.
Yeah. I don't give a damn about. Yeah. I don't even know what that song's called. It came on at the gym, and I was like, I need to act more like Kat Benson. Like, it like reminded me that she's actually an icon, and I don't think I've been channeling her enough lately.
And you know what? That's kind of what I miss about certain romance leads is a lot of them blend together. I mean, I know we were just talking about this formula or whatever, which is great, but also like you still do need to stand out a little bit. And yeah, Kat was like,
she had a personality.
Yeah, she was ahead of her time. And
she was.
Also going back and it would be a funny one to rewatch because the principal like throughout the whole movie is like writing an erotic novel.
Yes.
And now, like, having read some of our, like, steamy books, it just makes me laugh, you know? Like, what word can I use?
No, 10 Things I Hate About You is kind of raunchy as far as...
Oh, yeah.
Those types of movies go. Like, I remember it was on TV, and I was watching it for the first time as, like, a teenager, and my dad came in the room, and I was like, I'm gonna change the channel.
Yeah, it's not necessarily, like, inappropriate, but the content is a little bit more
it's kind of crude,
I guess. Yeah, like they even draw like the penis on his face.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
To be fair, was that anything new? Watching it in high school, I think I saw 10 penises drawn on the bus window every single day for like 5 years. So
we went to very different high schools.
Well, you were in small town Idaho.
Yeah. I was in small town Mormon, Idaho.
Yeah, no, mine... Yeah, I'm like, what, you didn't see a penis drawn every day of high school?
No, I genuinely didn't.
I literally did. I'm not kidding. It's not an exaggeration. Probably every single day there was a penis drawn somewhere. And there was also a game that you'd play, like, when a substitute would come, that, like, you'd have to, like, whisper penis and then, like, gradually get louder. Not the girls. Like, I wouldn't be playing it, but, like, this was, like, a game
I think
that
I've heard of that
play.
game, actually.
You'd be good at it, you said?
No, I said I think I've heard of that game.
Oh. I'd be good at that game. Yeah, so,
wait,
like,
how old are you? Go ahead.
How old was I?
Well, I was
when it came out. Oh, just kidding.
Finish your thought.
No, you finished. I don't remember. What were you saying?
Well, I was gonna say, how old were you when you, like, learned what the F word was?
Oh, I don't know.
Like, heard it for the first time?
Probably, like, elementary school.
Like, early elementary school? Because I think I almost made it to middle school before I heard it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, I mean, to be fair, like, I've heard my parents say the F word, which is
really
probably different. Yes.
My parents, I've never heard them say it.
Yeah, a couple times. My dad told me once to clean my effing room, and I was like, bro, chill. It's not that serious. No, yeah.
That's funny. As someone that has lived with you.
Issa's like, no, it is that serious. No, really. I, like, moved out. I'll put myself on blast for all our listeners. I moved out and didn't clean. I just, like, left. My parents, like, went into my room, like, a week later. It's like a bomb went off. They said that they always joke to me still. They were like, yeah, we found half our dishes under your bed. But it's because I wasn't allowed to eat. I wasn't allowed to eat in my bedroom. So, like, it was hard to bring the dishes back down because then I'd get in trouble. So I'd have to just hide them in my room. Plates and forks.
Well, that's crazy you left them under the bed, though, because one time my sister... Did I tell you this story before?
Yeah.
My sister ate a bowl of ice cream in her room, and then she just stuck the bowl under her bed, and she woke up in the morning because she heard something, like, scratching under her bed, like, on the bowl, and she thought it was our dog, and she was like, Charlie? And then she turned the lights on, and a mouse ran out from under her bed, and she was screaming bloody murder. I thought I was going to walk into her room, and she was going to be getting kidnapped.
Yeah, luckily I never had a mouse in my room.
That's good.
Oh, yeah. Anyways.
No, but I lived with Sydney, you guys. Okay, now that we're on the topic. I think I don't even care. I think we should share more personal anecdotes.
She wants to put me on blast. No, we should.
No. Yeah. No, I lived with Sydney, and she just, like, never unpacked all the way. And
nothing's changed.
Yeah, she's still been... Well,
a decade later.
Sydney has moved a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't at this point, I don't even blame you for not unpacking, because you never know. You could be moving
I'm
next
just gonna
week
get
for
up
all
and
we
do it
know.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's so true.
She's so nomadic.
Yeah, Issa and I were roommates. We were last... Okay, I guess it wasn't a decade ago. We were last roommates 8 years ago.
That's crazy.
So, I guess we're getting old.
I guess so.
But it would have been great if we had started this 8 years ago. Think of how many movies we could have watched in college. I probably would have dropped out, though, so maybe it's a good thing we didn't.
Yeah, but maybe we could have dropped out. Because we
would have been so successful.
Our podcast would have blown up.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, we did watch some... Please like and subscribe.
Yeah. Help us blow up. Well, did you have anything else to say about the movie?
No. I think it's worth going to see in theaters with your girlfriends.
Yeah.
And it was, like, pretty clean, too.
I think it said the F word, right?
Yeah, but...
It kind of surprises me when they try to make, like, clean movies, because then I think, like, oh, can you bring your child to this movie with you? Well, it might just depend on your household, apparently, as we were, as we were just talking about. Like, but I would say I might bring my niece. She's, like, 11. Like, I don't feel like anything that is showed or was leading up to would be, like, too scandalous for her.
Well, yeah, I guess it is PG-13.
Yeah.
Guys,
I'm not gonna lie. We had to re-record that part, and yeah, sorry. I blew
that
it.
A good reenactment of what I said?
You sounded great. I blew it. I said, Issa, say this. But then when it came to my part, I had nothing to say. Okay, well, there's one last thing we wanted to do before we wrap this episode up. We haven't done this in a while, but it's our Rotten Tomato game. Okay, so Issa, you need to guess the critic score and the audience score.
Okay. For the critic score, I'm going to guess 58. And for the audience score, I'm going to guess 65.
Both are higher.
Oh, really? Do I have to guess again, or are you going to tell me?
Critic score is 70.
Okay.
Which is pretty high.
Yeah, that's high.
Audience score? Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
94%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I guess people are opening their hearts.
I think, though, it will probably go down.
Okay, I actually kind of relate. I guess this is what we literally were just talking about when we brought up 10 Things I Hate About You, and how it was good that you, me, and Tuscany, like, followed, like, this kind of template of rom-coms, but that it didn't really do anything to, like, set itself apart from all the others, you know?
Uh-huh.
And this kind of says that. It says the problem is not that You, Me, and Tuscany sticks to the formula, but that it rarely does anything inventive with it.
Yeah.
So it's like, the formula is good. Like, we like the formula, but you can use the formula and do something more to, like, wow us, you know?
Yeah. I do think those scores will go down because, like, I think I was looking into the drama, and it had, like, a pretty high Rotten Tomatoes score opening weekend, and then it, like, went down.
That's true, because there's only 82 reviews right now for the critics, so that could potentially go down. The audience score, though, is like 500 plus. Like, it already has quite a bit.
For Yumi and Tuscany? Oh, that actually does surprise me. That's a lot.
But I think it's what we've been talking about, though. Like, I'm glad that I wish that it was our TikTok that pushed people to the theaters. But I think overall that message had been shared on social media that, like, we need to go, we need to show up, and we need to, like, love it, even if you didn't. And it's kind of the opposite of what I was saying about people we meet on vacation, because I'm like, we should be honest, because we should expect more. And then this one's like, hey, look, we're lucky just to be getting it. Let's tell them we're happy with it, and then, like, let's deal with the rest later. But yeah, but I do think, like, a lot of people felt passionately about that. And so it's kind of like what people were saying about With Heated Rivalry was that we don't have a lot of like queer stories that are like happy and joyful, that like end in some sort of happiness. And I can't speak, I guess, for either communities, queer communities or Black communities, but from what I could gather online from videos I've seen or even threads, is that they feel kind of the same sentiment, that like it's not often that they just get like a feel good, joyful, happy love story, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because really, when you look at it, yeah, every rom-com that we've mentioned so far are two white leads, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I think that it's really cool that we got this and like had that representation, and that other people could like see themselves in these rom-com stories, because like we said, it is a nice escape from reality, and it brings us a lot of joy, and it's fun to like envision myself and the characters that look like me. And so I think it's a meaningful story for a lot of people, and I think that it did a good job at telling a nice, sweet story. At the end of the day, it was a good time, you know.
Also, sorry, we're like trying to wrap up, but it was also refreshing that Halle Bailey, she was so beautiful, and she was not stick thin.
Yeah.
Which everyone in Hollywood and like in the influencer space, reality TV space, like everyone is so extremely thick thin these days. And even Poppy, like in the book, she's described as not being super skinny. And so I saw some people were like disappointed that
that it wasn't like shown that way.
Yeah. And I loved Emily Bader as Poppy, but like, yeah, like I think I can understand
that they read the book and saw like,
yeah,
I might be like this character, and then you see her on screen and you're like, oh, never mind. Yeah,
I think that's good representation in a world where right now everybody's feeling so pressured to like go on Ozempic and to have their collarbones showing.
No, I agree. Oh, and not just that like she wasn't stick thin, but that she loved and enjoyed food and found joy in food. Because when I just rewatched Clueless, they made like
Tuscany?
3 or 4 jokes. Yeah, they made several jokes about not eating, and that like she found her joy in eating good food. I love that. All right. Well, next week we're watching Some Kind of Wonderful. Yes, this is the 80s. We've got Leah Thompson in it, which is the mother, who is the mother of Doubt. I really should look up how to say her name. Dooch. I don't know. She was in Set It Up, which a lot of people like claim as their like 2015, like anything post 2015 rom-coms, like that's a lot of people's favorites. And if you didn't know, her mom is like the mother in Back to the Future, and she's in this movie. Oh, yeah. She was a really big star. So you might recognize her. So Some Kind of Wonderful, and then our book episode.
Yes. And then we got to figure out our May schedule.
This is your chance if you want to tell us what to do. Once we post that schedule, we don't change it. So,
you guys, like, we're people pleasers. If you tell us to watch something, we'll watch it.
You just have to be open to us being open with you. We're not gonna if you tell us this is my favorite movie, you need to watch it, and we don't love it, we're still gonna be honest with our thoughts. So
yeah,
I was gonna say don't share it if it's like too close to your heart.
Because we do like to complain.
Yeah, we're haters at our core.
Yeah, at the end of the day.
No.
All right, well, this was a fun episode. I feel like I did a lot of cackling. Hopefully it wasn't too loud into the microphone. I'm gonna have to listen to this back. Okay, but so like our editing software has this thing where it will remove pauses, but sometimes it removes our laughs because we're not speaking.
And I have to add it back.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, wait,
let me
you didn't laugh at my joke? I thought I was pretty funny.
No, yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, oh,
wait, we're so joyful. Why is it cutting out our joy and whimsy?
No, that's true. That's why editing takes so long. I have to go back and manually add in all of our laughs.
Yeah. You guys, we have day jobs, and Cindy's a mother. but we're also podcasters and producers of the podcast, editors of the podcast, social media managers for the podcast. And you know what? We just hit 1,000 followers on TikTok this past week. But you guys, if you're here from TikTok, thank you. Okay, first of all, thank you so much for following us on TikTok, and thank you so much for listening. But like, go follow us on Instagram because we're trying to hit 1,000 followers on Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Same username. Call me when they kiss.
Yes, and leave us a rating on Spotify.
Another reason why you should follow us on Instagram is that I know people say to post on stories on TikTok, but it feels so unnatural, and we don't. But you sometimes might get some bonus content on our Instagram.
Well, thank you guys for listening, and let us know if you watched You and Me in Tuscany and what you thought about it. And we will see you guys next week for Some Kind of Wonderful. Bye.